So I read this post yesterday on Twitter. Um, it was something like science says confidence is key. If you don't believe in yourself, then nobody will. And when I read that, it just felt wrong. I had to read it a couple of times and really like sit with it for a minute to figure out why I was bothered by it. And I realized, I mean, yes, unfortunately, that's true. When you believe in yourself, others believe in you. And you, whatever you expect to get from the world, that's what you get from the world. Um, and I know this as someone who spent the entirety of her life until the last few months with no confidence, with just raging insecurities, um, where there should have been confidence. And I mean, I tried to fake it for a long time. My job requires me to get up in front of large groups of people and talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion as an expert. Um, and I cannot tell you how many times I've been terrified going up in front of those groups of people because as much as once I actually felt confident with the material, like once I could talk about it with people one on one, like I knew this stuff. I knew that it was in there, and I couldn't figure out why I struggled so much each time to actually get the points I wanted across, or to sound coherent, or just to feel like I had done a good job imparting my knowledge and sharing it and helping people get better. Um, and I mean, you cannot, it's not something you can fake. I tried for decades. Um, and now that I have real confidence, thanks to a boatload of therapy, and a lot of really hard work on myself, um, now I have confidence and now I can project that and now it's real. Um, but it's not something that you can do when you have been given reason to believe that are not, you don't have as much worth as everybody else, or you're not as important or significant as everybody else. Uh, it wasn't until I felt truly unconditionally loved by my partner, Ben, that I actually had confidence for the first time in my life. Um, so, and having read posts like that many, many times over the years, or heard it said, it would just make me feel worse for not being able to figure out how to project it when I wanted to. It made me feel like more of a failure. So we put this pressure on people who have been broken in some way or who have been made to doubt themselves. We put the onus on them to make the world see them as they should be seen. But this is the world's responsibility. We need to shift society. We need to shift the expectations that we put on each other. It needs to be okay that not everyone is going to be able to be fully articulate all the time. It needs to be okay that people have neurodivergence, that they're going to interact with individuals in a different way. They're going to talk in a different way. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, is on the spectrum, and the way he speaks, there's a particular rhythm and there's a particular tone to his voice, and I'm familiar with it, and I know that he's on the spectrum, so I understand where it comes from. And that's just part of him. It's just his speech pattern. Um, and I hear it in other people who I either find out are on the spectrum or I assume are. Um, and I know that it's something that oftentimes they feel really insecure about because people treat them differently when they use their natural speaking patterns, or um, people, we just, we have these limited expectations for how people are supposed to behave or present themselves. And it's based on what we've been conditioned um, to expect over the years. It's based on, I mean, what we grow up watching on TV or in movies or whatever. Um, because, like, news is delivered by people who sound very authoritative and smart and articulate. And, movies, everything is done in like 50 takes and over and over and over again. People have to deliver those lines and not say, or not, pause for a second. Um, it's, we project perfection. We don't realize as an audience that in between takes, someone's hair was put back in place, or their makeup was perfected after they had a kissing scene, um, or I mean, the examples are countless, and we have forgotten that that's not how people actually are, and it's not what we should ask for from people. We should ask people to show up as they are and let whatever that is be okay. Create the space for people to show up as their real, true, authentic selves, flaws and all, and not feel judged, not feel criticized, not feel like they aren't living up to this completely impossible standard. It's it's really easy as someone who has confidence and has always had a fair amount of it. I mean, I know we all have our insecurities. I'm not saying I still do, even as someone who feels really confident now. I'm saying that we need to be able to be more accepting of each other's realities, of who we actually are, and not who we want people to be or expect people to be, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm the threat. I feel like I'm starting to talk in circles, so I'm going to stop. But I would love to hear what you all have to think. What struggles have you had with confidence, and what do you think we can do as a society, as a culture, to start to create more space, real acceptance of each other's differences, of each other's flaws, of the realities of being human? How can we stop fighting our very nature and embrace who we really are? Because I think if we can get there, if we can stop feeling the need to be anything other than who we actually are, I think it would go a long, long way to address a lot of the mental health issues that we face as a society right now, and that individuals have to face in really horrific, devastating battles their whole life. So, what do you think? Have a good day. And even if you can't believe in yourself right now, I believe in you.